first, let's start with the Europa League final. We saw that result. Villarreal, Unai Emery's men win in penalties after a missed penalty by none other than David De Gea.
It's what everyone assumed would happen at the beginning of the match. What was the betting line on that? Some guy put $1 on David De Gea missing the final penalty and is walking away a millionaire. I don't know how betting works.
Yeah, it's basically like, I'm a Dogecoin millionaire, and all of a sudden. Look, the Manchester United probably 9 times out of 10 should beat Villarreal. They're much better team, much better players. The fact that it even got to penalties to begin with, you saw as soon as Unai Emery used all his 5 subs within regulation, it was we're trying to hold on to possibly get it to penalties or win, off a set piece. But I see
it a different way. I saw it as Unai Emery trying to win it in 90 because you don't want to have an extended game against the Manchester United. We looked at this on our Twitch. The value of the clubs, right? Villarreal is like 250 million pounds, let's say, or euros. Yeah. Manchester United, 3 times as much. They're in the 700s. It's a much bigger club. Manchester United finished 2nd in the Premier League. They're already qualified for Champions League.
Yeah.
Villarreal finished 7th. They needed this. Mm-hmm. This was the only way they're the Arsenal of this. This was the only way they were going to get into Champions League. Unai Emery, who everyone said was a flop in the Premier League, comes out and is an absolute masterclass of how to play against Manchester United. Manchester United absolutely lost this match. Most importantly was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was completely outmanaged in this entire match. And Unai Emery deserves all the credit and all the plaudits because he had these guys you've never heard of. I think it was Aaron West who said it's got to be really frustrating to play against a player like Parejo who has the physical gifts of a debate, the captain of the debate team, but yeah, you can't get the ball off of him. You got guys like Alcacer who people said couldn't score anywhere he went. You got all these guys who's mishmash. Of names
outcasts,
and people. These are they moneyballing? How they find these people? And they destroyed Manchester United.
I mean, look, they couldn't. Manchester United looked like they could have applied a bit more pressure, but they just whatever. They just couldn't figure them out. It's frustrating for Manchester United fans, but nonetheless, they're still in Champions League. And
enough with the positive. You're like, but everything's gonna work out. No, you lost the final. This is now 4 years. It's 4 years without a trophy.
If Villarreal desperately needed the win, Manchester United did not. Right? If you're making that point, they're already they should have won.
Valuable team.
They should have won. I'm not debating that. I'm just saying that they need to win. For outside of just having another trophy, that's all it would have really meant.
Not another trophy.
Still in Champions League.
That's your job as a manager is to win trophies.
It's still not a bad season, and it's still not a bad Europa League campaign. That's all I'm saying.
You sound like an Everton fan. You're like, whatever.
The other thing that came from this was immediately after the game was the racist abuse that Marcus Rashford was dealing with, which is it's always just so strange to me that when fans are upset, they're basically, I'm mad at a player. I'm only mad at the black ones, and I only have something to say to the black ones.
And I'm gonna make it about the fact that he's black, and not about the fact that he did have kind of a poor game. If you said, "Yo, you play like shit," or "You're this," or "You're that," I'd be like, "All right, I get that." Why it has to go into racism makes no sense whatsoever, and really it just outs you as a terrible human being. I could understand irrational anger, right? I feel like out of the two of us, that's more me. And I can understand being upset at a player that didn't play well or didn't do something when asked, when they're sort of trained and paid to do that. I can understand that anger. I can even understand going so far as to pulling up their account and saying like, yo, you play like blah, 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 or I hate you, I wish you were off the team. I get that. But to make it about, and by the way, don't do that. I think it's stupid, but I understand where that could come from in the heat of the moment. Making it about racism, now you're no longer upset about the match. Now you're just a terrible human being, and there's zero reason for it. Yeah. And honestly, the faster we get that out of the game, and I don't know that there is a way to stop it, but if these algorithms can tell when I take a picture of the word COVID and put that little note at the bottom, you got to figure out a way to get these messages out of here.
Yeah. The last point I want to make about this is really we've had a terrible and traumatic year, especially when it comes to sports. We haven't been able to be at games. And then now people are back. Now people are thinking everything's back to normal. Let me bring the racism is the thing that should not come back, right? The thing,
right.
We saw it in the NBA playoffs. Russell Westbrook dealing with somebody throwing popcorn, a Knicks fan spitting at Trae Young. That this behavior, like we don't deserve to be back if this is how we're gonna behave. That's exactly the main point. It's like act right. The year that we spent indoors should have been looking within ourselves to how to be better people, better fans, and just generally grateful for what we do have. So, Rashford should not be having to deal with any of this nonsense.